These are the adorable athletic lemurs of Madagascar. I mean, don't you just want to take some home with you? They are among the most endangered mammals in the world, and many scientists predict that this incredible keystone species will be extinct within just a few decades. While this is a story about lemurs having an ecosystem that helps them to thrive, it's also a story about you and what you need to truly thrive. I'm going to share a number of keystone strategies that you can start to use to enhance the ecosystem of your life. We spent a little over 3 weeks in Madagascar, and it's so incredibly unique. It's home to baobab trees, these sweeping dramatic landscapes, deep red earth, and wildlife that's found nowhere else on the planet. And one of the most spectacular things that you might already know is that 108 species of lemur call this large island their home. For 2 weeks of the trip, we volunteered our time assisting a research team doing all kinds of data collection around the keystone species of animal and plants in this region of Southeast Madagascar. Nerd alert! But honestly, sadly, the forests here are dwindling because of things like habitat destruction, forest fragmentation, hunting, mining. What was once these vast hectares of literal forest, I was like, when they started saying literal forest, I'm like, yeah, it's literally forest. Here's what literal forest actually means. Okay, so the literal forest is now only 5 of these really small plots of protected land that serve to safeguard all of the plants and animals that are so unique to this area. So it was critical to monitor the health of the forest so we could know like what is happening in real time and over the course of time. And the best way to do this is to actually spend time in the environment, observing, inspecting, analyzing. You know, like you actually got to go in there, spend time, and get your hands and feet a little bit, lot bit dirty. So we'd go out on survey 3 times a day, just walking through the forest for sometimes hours, morning, afternoon, and night, rain or shine, looking for all kinds of things, but mainly lemurs. Daytime lemurs, nighttime lemurs, tiny lemurs, lemurs of every size and color. And what they all have in common is their role as a keystone species. So these animals literally hold this forest ecosystem together, mainly because of their poop. Yep, we're back to poop. It's just pretty much a matter of time when you spend time with me. But if you happen to miss my previous elephant poop adventure in Namibia, you can see that here. Anyway, lemurs are really responsible for eating and then dispersing seeds throughout the forest. And without them and their crappy planting, there simply is no forest. And of course, other species are also vital for a healthy forest. So we were also looking for frogs, chameleons.
It only took me a week of night surveys and I finally spotted my first chameleon. How cute is it?
Geckos, insects, and certain palms and pandanus species plants. Big word again, total nerd alert. And once we found a critter, we collected a specific set of data for each one of them. So the exact name of the species, the sex, the age, the GPS coordinates, how many others lived in a certain area, how much light a host plant was receiving through the tree canopy. And although at times, okay, it felt like a lot of the time, this was painstakingly tedious. Obstacles often got in the way, and it was sometimes frustrating.
What were you doing, Jenny?
Standing.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Counting things that aren't here. It was really all necessary to measure the vitality of the forest. Here's the deal. You can have a forest and think that just because there are trees and plants in there, that it must be healthy. The reality is there has to be the right balance of species, both keystone and non, for future growth and sustainability. So you can have a forest that is host to a couple species of trees without much else, or you can have a healthy forest full of a variety of tree species of various ages, animals, small animals, big animals, insects, bugs, various sunlight and shade that really ensure the health and life of the forest for the long term. Sometimes the forest of your life grows less biodiverse over time, thanks to a mortgage, job responsibilities, growing and changing families, and just the daily choices that you make. And all the shit in your life is piling up in one area, creating this really concentrated, toxic environment versus all that crap being spread over everything in small amounts, leading to growth. It's easy to assume that just because you have the main pieces or trees of a successful life, that that's all it takes to thrive. But just like a forest, it can be full of trees, but having keystone species and the right balance of diverse forms of life are really the key. When was the last time that you surveyed the whole ecosystem of your life? So looking at how you occupy your time or simply liking what you do every day. Do you have strong relationships and love in your life? Are you effectively managing your economic life in alignment with your values and beliefs? Do you have good health and enough energy to get things you want to get done on a daily basis? Do you feel connected to friends and the community that you live in? Sadly, according to Gallup, while 66% of people are doing well in at least one of these areas, only 7% are thriving in all 5 of that ecosystem. What are the keystone species in your life? What are the things that are necessary not just for your survival, but that create a fertile ecosystem where you feel nurtured, you're flourishing, and things are in balance? How's your health and energy? How's your sense of belonging, feeling loved, valued, and cared for? What about the amount of laughter and lightness that you experience on a daily basis? And how about feeling like the work that you do has deep meaning and purpose? Are you creating and protecting the right environment for the important things in your life to grow? So the protected forest fragments that we surveyed had healthier, much more robust ecosystems. What are your personal boundaries? And what do you do to protect them? What are you currently prioritizing? Is it leading to a healthy, rewarding ecosystem? Who or what are you giving the majority of your time to each day? Your energy, your money. What are you doing to create and protect more happiness? And are you clear on your values and make daily decisions that are aligned with them? These lemurs depend on a delicate balance to survive, just as we do. But balance doesn't just happen. It's created, protected, and nurtured. The choices you make, just like the forest you live in, determine whether you merely survive or truly thrive. Let's make sure we're protecting what matters most.